Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How you doing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty fucking good, to be honest with you, which is nice, man. It's nice to be doing pretty fucking good. I've recorded this podcast many times where the beginning is I'm feeling bad or I feel shitty or I'm sad, I'm doing all right. And it's nice to be recording this and just right off the bat go, I feel good. I feel pretty great, to be honest with you. I mean, a little frustrated because some of this podcast shit has been annoying the fuck out of me. Nothing about the podcast. I've been lazy with it, which that annoys me. But, you know, that's on me and I got to make that better. But I get frustrated when the tools that I use to record the podcast don't fucking work. Right now, if you're watching the video, I don't know if you could see it. No, you can't. But the base plate that this mic stand goes into is stripped to one side of my desk. So I tried to record the podcast a couple times last week, but I couldn't get the mic over here so that I could record in the way that I like. So then I bought another base plate online, and it's much shittier. And at first, I put it in the thing, and it wouldn't fit. It would only go halfway into the base plate, and that was fucking annoying me. But then there was this thing you could take out of the base plate to make more room, so now it's loosely in this base plate, but a couple of times I put it on, and I stretched the mic out far enough where the whole base plate just came off of the desk. So now I'm recording this podcast, worried that this thing is so precarious it might fall at any moment, but also not worried because I tightened it enough where I'm like, I think it's all good, but who the fuck knows? Anyway, aside from those frustrations, also Pro Tools, I couldn't open it, and I was getting pissed because I thought my Pro Tools was broken, so I uninstalled it and reinstalled it like 4 or 5 times, and then I finally was like, what the fuck, there's no way this software is this busted. And then I went on YouTube, and there was this very nice Pro Tools teacher, audio instructor, don't know what her title is, but she helped me out. She did a tutorial on why your Pro Tools might not be opening, and she goes, a lot of my students have this problem. They're like, I can't open this project, I can't open this project. So already I'm watching this video and I'm like, I'm being compared to students. That's dope, dude. I'm being compared to probably fucking 18-year-olds. That's cool, dude. I'm freaking out like an 18-year-old child, bro. I'm freaking out like it's 12 years ago, bro. That's sick. And she's like, my students get very frustrated with this. Let me tell you how to do it. It took me back. I felt like I was in a college class. Honestly, it was better than a college class. Honestly, it made me think of professors I had who taught me like Final Cut. And I was like, bro, there's no need for this anymore. This woman, it was solidifying the idea that's already been in my brain of like, when it comes to software, just point someone in the direction of someone who's been crushing it on YouTube, you know? You like Final Cut, Pro Tools, any editing software I've ever used, any software on the computer I've ever used, I learned either from direct user experience or me being like, well, how do you do this specific thing? And then looking it up in a video. It's good to have someone just give you a base knowledge of like how to use the software, but that's not the way that instruction should happen. Like Final Cut, what really should happen is you should have a one-on-one session with a guy who knows how to use it, and you should sit down with him, and then as you're editing, be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because that's how you learn in editing software, is you have an idea of what you want to do, and you want to know how to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like people aren't going to ask you about green screen because they don't know how to use the blade tool yet. But you're teaching me about the blade tool, then jump cutting. You're also telling me how you use the software. Using an editing software is like writing. Everyone's got different ways of saying things. Everyone's got different handwriting, you know? I don't know if that's a good analogy at all, but you know what I'm saying. It's like a video game, bro. When you play Elden Ring, everyone uses a different build. Okay? But everyone beats the game. You know? When you use Final Cut or Adobe Premiere or whatever the fuck, not everyone not everyone's workflow is the same. Some people, I edit very differently from my friend. My friend once saw me edit, and she goes, holy shit, you do that way different than I do it. And then I watched her edit, and I was like, I fucking hate how you do it, because we're different people. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Pro Tools. None of this matters. This is boring as shit. But who gives a fuck, dude? It's my podcast. Anytime I feel like I'm being boring, I'm like, who gives a fuck, bro? It's my thing, dude. It's just me here. If you find it boring, I'm sorry. Anyway, I was gonna say fuck you, but honestly, if you find this boring, it's not fuck you. That's I agree with you, bro. I'd be bored hearing about Pro Tools. Anyway, this woman is like, you're clearly in college. And I'm like, I'm not, but okay. And she goes, let me show you how to fix it. And she showed me in 2 seconds how to fix it. You just had to go to like edit window. You had to go to like window, add editing window. It was easy as fuck, bro. The program was open the whole time. I just had to fucking click 2 buttons and have it work. Anyway, besides me being a dumb motherfucker, besides me being built different in a negative context, I've been having a good time, dude. I just had a birthday, and it was honestly a great fucking birthday. I usually don't do shit for my birthday. I don't. My birthday is on Cinco de Mayo, dude. And I usually go to a Mexican restaurant with like 2 people. If anything. If I'm doing anything, that's usually what I do. Which is frustrating because my birthday's on Cinco de Mayo, and as I've you know, grown up, my favorite food is Mexican food, and that becomes frustrating, bro, because on Cinco de Mayo every fucking Mexican place is packed with goddamn people. It's not a necessity to eat Mexican food on Cinco de Mayo. I'm the type of person who I'm like, oh, I would love to eat a quesadilla on my birthday, but then I'm like, oh yeah, my birthday is not the day for that. Unless I want to make a reservation, which I am dumb and I don't do that. I don't like reservations. I don't like the idea of a reservation. You know? Because I like when you go to a place and it's too packed and you're like, well, fuck it. Let's try this other place, and then it's good. That's what happened this birthday, bro. We went to a Mexican place. I was like, it's probably going to be packed because it's Cinco de Mayo. We went there. It was packed as shit. I was like, oh, there's this Cajun place right near here that I've had once before. Let's get that. It's good. We went there. It was empty as shit because it's Cinco de Mayo. And even though everyone knows it's going to be crazy to go to a Mexican place, you have that thing in your heart that's like, yeah, but let's go though. It's like when the first warm day of the summer where everyone's like, let's all go to the park. And you're like, it's going to be packed and awful there. And it's like, yeah, but let's go though. Let's go though. In my stomach, in my gut, I'm like, let's go there right now. That's how people feel about Mexican food on Cinco de Mayo. Even if you're not thinking about it, you're like, yeah, but I don't know. I would love a burrito. I would love like 3 tacos, dude. I don't know. Let's see how packed it is. Anyway, it was packed. Cajun restaurant, empty. And all my friends had a great time. Honestly, it was a better meal than it would have been at this other place. Because it was also like food that we don't usually eat. We're getting seafood. I got a giant ass lobster boil. My friend got a fucking crab leg boil. It was good as fuck. Anyway, it was my birthday, dude, and it was fun. A big birthday, dude. It was I don't usually do things for my birthday, but this was a like I said, my birthday's on Cinco de Mayo. Also this year it fell on a Friday, and I was turning 30. So I was like, it'd be crazy not to do something. Also, I met a lot of new friends this year, and I was like, it has the potential to be like a big party, which will be nice on a big year. And so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. And I told everyone to come out, and a lot of people came out, and it was very fun. We fucking did karaoke from like 3 to 4 in the morning, closed down a karaoke bar. It was so fun, dude. We rolled up, and the private room, there's one private room for this place, and it was completely empty, and my friend was like, I'm going to ask about it. And then he walked in, we got the private room, we had like 15 people in there, fucking singing so bad, dude. I'm so bad at singing. Also, I hate karaoke, but like recently I figured out what karaoke was, and I was like, oh wait, that would be fun. Karaoke, I always thought karaoke was like, you got to sing songs that everyone knows. And I was like, no, that's, oh shit. And then recently I started listening to, well, 2 things happened. One, I was at a karaoke night at this bar in Brooklyn, And my friend kept being like, you gonna do a song? You gonna do a song? You gonna do a song? And I was like, I don't know, man. Let me see what's there. And I started thinking about the songs that I know. And I'm like, I know Eminem. I don't really want to do that. Eminem is aggressive. I don't want to turn down the vibe in this Brooklyn bar. Okay? I would love to do My Name Is, but I don't want to say, hi, kids, do you like violence in front of all these people who'll be like, I actually don't like violence. You should shut the fuck up. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the one guy doing the real Slim Shady and bumming everybody out. I don't want to do a song where I got to censor a lot of lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Why even do that? Just pick a song where you don't got to censor anything. Just pick a song you could sing the whole thing, you know? If your whole point is to go on stage and sing a song, why purposely pick a song where you shouldn't be singing some of the stuff? You know, you're only putting yourself in a anxiety-ridden experience. I love this song. Don't accidentally say something terrible. Why do I want to do that? I don't even like karaoke. Why do I want to put myself in that position? So I was like, what do I like that's like just songs I could definitely sing? And I was like, oh, Modest Mouse. So I looked up Modest Mouse at this bar. Fucking 8,000 Modest Mouse songs. And then recently I started listening to Modest Mouse and Interpol again, and I realized I knew all the words, and I was like, oh, that's what karaoke is. This sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth, but it's a real thought I had. That's what karaoke is. It's all the music you listen to in middle school and high school, and then you're fucking late 20s, 30s, whatever the fuck, and you're like, oh yeah, I know all the words to these songs. These are the songs I grew up with. I was picturing like songs that my parents do, because people sing old fucking songs. People sing Bohemian Rhapsody, which we sang and it was fun, but at the same time, I got no connection to that song. My connection to that song is Wayne's World, bro. I don't remember that song coming out. I was a child. I was probably not even born, dude. So people sing these old hits, and I'm like, oh, that's karaoke. Why would I want to sing? Why would I want to sing songs from Guitar Hero? Why would I want to sing the songs from a Guitar Hero that I don't know? That's how my brain processed it. I don't know Aerosmith's discography, bro. I know they existed. Mick Jagger's a guy, sure. I don't know his songs, but y'all seem to be singing them. Anyway, I realized like, oh, wait a second. That bar had a bunch of Modest Mouse because I'm aged up where that's old fucking music and I want to sing it. So then we went to this bar. And then I was re-listening to it, realizing I know all the lyrics. So then we went to this bar, or this karaoke bar on my birthday, and they only had 2 fucking Modest Mouse songs. All I wanted to sing was Brand New and Modest Mouse. That's right, bro. That's right, bro. I was a strange and emo boy. That's what I was in middle school and high school, bro. My first music that I liked, the first song that I ever liked was a Modest Mouse song. It was the first song it was the song that made me like music, because before that I only listened to Weird Fucking Al. That's true. That's a true thing. I don't know how I feel about that. Honestly, I feel fine about that. I mean, I'm a comedian now, so I guess that makes sense. It's a little on the nose to be a comedian. Bro, I couldn't take music seriously as a kid because I couldn't be genuine. Dude, when I was in middle school, I was so scared to be sincere that music that made me feel anything, I was like, fuck that. That shit's gay. That's how I... That's how I felt at that age. I was so in tune with myself that I was like, in middle school, you don't even know what you are. You don't even know if you're gay or straight. You don't know who you love, who you don't. You don't know anything. Right? All you know is that people are saying if you're feminine, you're gay, and then you listen to a song and you're like, oh, I kind of feel emotion. You're like, nah, that's gay, bro. I don't want to do that. And you saying that's gay is you just being like, don't make fun of me, dude. I don't want to be made fun of, bro. I'm feeling something. I've seen my friend get fucking brutalized for feeling something. I don't feel that way. I'm not that. Anyway, so, but also the thing is too, like, you don't have the capacity to understand music when you're a certain age. Like, I was a kid, I understood what a song parody was. I understood, it's easy to understand a guy making fun of other popular songs, but like, like Modest Mouse was the first music that I liked, but I didn't understand why I liked it till I got older. Like, I didn't understand the lyrics I was listening to until I got older. Eminem you get from an early age, because a lot of it's just anger, and if you're a young man, your first feelings in this world are usually rage. At least that's my experience. I don't know about other dudes, but a lot of your teens is pure, unadulterated rage. And you listen to Eminem and you're like, I get it. I get it, bro. I got a lot of bad shit swirling around my head. This guy seems to understand the bad things in my brain right now. But like heartbreak and like the music that I really love now, which is all sad, heartbreaky, lovey bullshit. I didn't get any of that until I fell in love, it's not even just falling in love, it's falling in love and then having your heart broken. That makes music good. You don't like 98% of music is not accessible until you've been heartbroken. Heartbreak is what music was made for, okay? 2% of it is rage, 2% of it is Eminem, and 98% of it is Billie Eilish. You know? That's music. Right? That's what it is, bro. Sammy Davis Jr., what kind of fool am I, bro? That's in the 98%, bro. That's what it is. Dead wrong, Biggie Smalls? That's anger, bro. Well, I guess there's a suicide, too. Well, that's the thing, too. Interesting. Now, there's also the depression angle. But is depression involved with love? No. Should we put depression and love all in the 98%? Because it went from Modest Mouse to Eminem, and then Tyler, the Creator came out, and then it went hardcore to Tyler, the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt. And, bro, I loved... Dude, Tyler, the Creator doesn't, like, people talk about now how his later albums, he's really started to express himself and be personal. That's not true. Like, Tyler, the Creator was always a troll, and he was always, like, a memester, before that was even a fucking term. But he was always a troll and would always say fucked up shit. But, like Bastard, like, the whole gimmick of him talking to his therapist, like both Bastard and Goblin, both those songs, it's him talking about how he wants to kill himself. It's him talking about like real depression and sadness that I felt when I was his age. Like, me and him are the same age, I'm pretty sure, and everything he spoke about during that time, I felt intrinsically. And all the fucked up shit he was talking about is like that Eminem shit. It's like he's young, and he's got intrusive thoughts, and he's got anger, and he's just talking about them in his music. And then compounded with that, connected with that, is severe fucking depression and wanting to kill yourself and feeling like a loser. And he was rapping about, he rapped about depression in a way that I could connect with before probably any other person in music. At least for me. Honestly, I'm trying to think about it, like Suicidal Thoughts from Biggie Smalls. That's a song now that I listen to and I connect with it. You know, on a depressive level. But even though, you know, the lyrics in that is not the same. You know, me and Tyler didn't have the same upbringing, but like it's grounded in a public school. Biggie Smalls is talking about how he doesn't want to go to hell because he dressed in all white and he likes black Timbs and black hoodies. I don't identify with that as much. You know, he's talking about his mother hating him. I think that's what that right. Talking about his mom hating him. My mom likes me, dude. I don't connect with that. Me and Tyler, our moms like us. It's the dad that's rough, bro. So I don't know. So he's talking about suicide, but it's for different reasons. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. I'm going off the rails. But anyway, Modest Mouse is what I realized that I can rap to. Honestly, though, Tyler as well. I would rap to some Tyler. I would do some Tyler at a karaoke place. That's the thing too, is you needed the right crowd. Like I always thought karaoke was like a public thing. Because this place where I looked up the music, where my friends were like, you gonna go? You're doing it to a bar, and I'm not doing karaoke to perform to a crowd. I perform to a crowd. I do jokes to perform to a crowd. I get that out of my system. Okay, I'm not one of these comedians who's got a hidden good voice. I need to belt it out to have people be like, oh my god, he's actually good. No, okay, I'm not trying to get laid by singing someone else's song. Okay, that's stupid. And there are people out there who do it. They go to karaoke night to have someone else be like, oh my god, you sang that really good artist who has a lot of money song pretty good. I'm gonna fuck you now. What? Listen, bro, I'm the type of person, I want to get laid on my words alone, bro. I do a joke about penises, I'm fucking off that. Okay? I'm not gonna get fucked off of an Aerosmith song, bro. They can, you know. I'm not a rocker. You know what I'm saying? I find that so weird. I play a lot of pool, bro. I've never tried to fuck off pool, and yet I see these people who play pool all the time, and they're trying to get women wet from playing pool, dude. From banging the tip of a stick into a fucking solid ball. Who finds that hot? What lady out there is like, damn, dude, you beat that other weird guy at pool. I'm gonna suck your dick. You're kind of a weird, uncomfortable dude, and you just beat that weird, older, uncomfortable dude. I wanna fuck you till I die, dude. Who's thinking that? Who's thinking? Most of the time when I see a woman with a man playing pool, she looks bored as shit. She looks like she's been dating the guy for 4 years, and she's like, hey man, the pool thing was cute initially, but I'm done with it. It's either that or she also likes pool, which in that case, you just both like pool. That makes sense to me. If somebody else is, you know, but at least you're playing the game. I don't know, there's something weird to me about you going up and singing Stairway to Heaven, and then somebody else being like, you sing that song not as good as the original, but still pretty good. Let's kiss. It's weird to me. I don't know. Seems like a weird way to get down, but to each their own, bro. If you're fucking off karaoke, whoever you are, God bless. Anyway, the first song I ever liked. The first song I ever liked was, let me look it up. It was on the first Modest Mouse album, which has a fucking such a good name, dude. I forgot how good the names of their albums are. Their first, no, it's not their first album. It's their 2004 album. Good News for People Who Like Bad News. Come on, bro. Good News for People Who Like Bad News. What a fucking great name for an album. But it's the first song, The World at Large. The world at large, why she Iron Man? That was a taste of how bad I am at karaoke. Was me going, the world at large, why she Iron Man? Well, you still got your friends and you got your plans. Oh, float on, maybe would you understand? Well, I'm float on, maybe would you understand? Bro, it's funny how, did I just mix the two? No, it's the world at large. He says float on a bunch, and then float on. He's like, well, oh, float on, okay. A lot of floating, dude. A lot of floating on, bro. Anyway, World at Large. Love that song, bro. Great fucking song. And that was the first song I ever listened to where I was like, this is kind of sad. I didn't really like the lyrics. I don't even remember any lyrics that I connected with, but I remember just listening to it and being like, oh, this is kind of sad, and I'm kind of sad. This makes me feel better. Because up until that point, I listened to a lot of like, and then off Modest Mouse was like Brand New and Interpol. And then while I was listening to that, I was also listening to Eminem. So, you know, I like music where I can get angry, and I like music where I can be sad, you know? And Tyler, the Creator, honestly, was a good marriage of the two. And I think that's why I liked him so much. But before that, I just, if you have brothers and a father, a lot of your music taste, a lot of what you like is what they like, just automatically. I fuck with your dad, the political opinions he holds, you're going to hold for a minute. And that's what's so funny too, when people get mad at like young kids for like shitty political opinions. I'm like, bro, we all believed in what our parents thought for a second. We all believed in our parents' shitty ideas for at least a year or two. We did. We all held on to it and tried them out, and then we saw the world react to it, and we're like, never mind. I don't know. So sometimes when I see like a 14-year-old kid talking about the government, I'm like, give him a second to figure out what he actually thinks about it. Let him say the shit to us, and we can look at him weird, and then we'll figure out, when he's like 18, maybe what he thinks. And even then, not really. Even then, let's wait till 23. I think 23 is a good spot to check in with somebody and be like, what do you think about stuff? And if he's on the mark, that's probably, if he's on or off the mark, I think at 23, you kind of got the gist of what it's going to be. But I don't know. Some people turn around and change their minds at fucking 30, dude. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, the music, so I think political opinions is your dad. And you're like your dad and your mom. And then I think the music you like is your brothers. At least for me. Or like the things they like, you try them on. You try out, like it's like fucking hand-me-down clothing. You're trying on the shit that they had, and you're like, does this fit right? Nah. Like I tried on Enter Shikari, and I'm like, does this fit right? Kind of. It kind of fits, but it's got holes in it that I don't like. Under Oath, dude. I listened to Under Oath, and I was like, is this for me, or do I hate this? All this screaming, I understand that it's doing something for my brothers, but does the screaming make me access a part of my inner rage, or am I just getting angry because it's hurting my ears? That's it for the first part. I'll see you guys in the second part. What's up? I'm back. Yeah, so anyway, I went to like Bamboozle and shit like that. I don't know if you guys know that. It was like a hardcore festival. So like Screamo and shit like that was what my brothers liked. And the first music I genuinely listened to was, that's what it was. I genuinely listened to fucking, what the fuck was it? I said it earlier. Weird Al. And then when I was like trying to tap into like actual music, it was what my brothers listened to, which was they didn't like rap. I don't know why. I wasn't allowed to listen to Eminem, just because like that was the thing. You're not allowed to listen to Eminem. Honestly, that's the right thing to do, because Eminem's whole thing was like I shouldn't be listened to by children, but you let your children listen to me. And so my mom was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna let you listen to him. My mom was right. Eminem's whole thing was like, I had a neglectful mother, and that's why I am becoming sick. I am talking to I'm talking to me. I'm talking to the ones who were also neglected. I know there are kids out there who their parents don't care about them, and you get to hear me now, and now I'm your role model. Like I'm the evil you created. And my mom was like, well, I'm not creating that evil, so fucking he's not listening to him. So I got to grow up and then listen to him and have, more of an outsider's understanding of the whole thing. Yeah, so I was trying to listen to Screamo and shit like that. They didn't really listen to rap, so I was like, I don't like... So I tried their music out, and then I heard World at Large, and then that made me be like, oh, no, this is what I like. And then I started listening to rap, Eminem, Biggie Smalls, fucking then Tyler, Earl, and that was my music taste. Anyway, we did karaoke. I was like, hell yeah, that other bar had 8,000 Modest Mouse songs. This bar had 2. What the fuck? And it had no brand new. What the fuck, bro? But anyway, my friend likes Eminem, so we ended up singing some Eminem, and we also sang Ocean Breed Salty, which is a great song. Ocean Breed Salty is a great song because I don't hear a lot of Modest Mouse fans talk about it, and also it's got the best lyrics to sing, dude. It was a weird thing because I was like, why don't you have more Modest Mouse songs, but at the same time, you have one of the best ones to sing. There's a lyric in it where it goes, Cole Long what's he say? Gone long and I forget the trail. Well, thanks for the time I did think a spell. I had to think a while. Well, that is that, and this is this. I'll tell you what I want, and I'll tell you what you get. You get away from me. You get away from me, bro. It's so fun to scream, "You get away from me," at a bunch of people in a room. You know, because also you're saying it, and you're like, maybe some of these people think I'm directing this towards them, and that's funny. It's just fun to scream loudly, "You get away from me," because it's such a feeling. At least for me, bro, that's a feeling I have, dude. So much in my life. Get the fuck away from. There's people who I'm just like, can you get away from me, man? Sometimes people I love, I'm like, get away from me, dude. I need to be alone every once in a while, man. I need to be the fuck alone. Anyway, I turned 30 though. It's a fun thing to say. I need to be alone sometimes. I need people to get the fuck away from me. Anyway, I just turned 30. Turning 30 is funny because people put their shit onto it. Like people who already have turned it, or people who haven't turned it yet, they put so much shit. They put so much shit onto how you're going to feel about it. And then you figure out how you feel about it, and you're like, well, that's not how any of the other people said. The way I feel about it is not at all like anyone else said or projected. Like a friend of mine who's 27, he was like, how old are you turning? I said 30. He goes, really? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, are you terrified? And I was like, not really. I'm terrified in the way that like every birthday is another number that might be your last. Right? Every time, honestly, this was the first birthday in a long time where there was no melancholy. There was no sadness. There was no regret. I felt good. Which is crazy. Every year in my late 20s, I felt like shit. I felt like, damn, dude, I'm gonna die. Bro, when you're 27, I understand what why people kill themselves when they're 27. Because I think when you're in your late 20s, if you're susceptible to depression, like that, that is a dark time. Because if you're famous as fuck, you're like, what the fuck is next? And if you're not famous at all, you're like, what the fuck is my life? You know? I think no matter who you are at 27, if you're a depressive person, you want to kill yourself. You just do. You're in a dark fucking vortex and you think you can't get out of it, but you can, bro. Like he said to me, are you terrified of turning 30? And I go, if my life was how it was when I was 27, now I would shoot myself in the brain. I would fucking kill I don't know if that's true, but I felt very depressed when I was 27, 28. I guess 26 and 27, I was very fucking depressed. And, bro, my phone keeps showing me that time, and I can see it in my face that I wanted to go. I wanted to check out early from existence. And I feel so far away from that person. And that feels great. And so when I was turning this, I was like, I feel good. I feel happy about my life. I feel like I know what I'm doing and I know what I want to do. And I'm going to keep moving towards all that. And I feel like shit is going upward, you know? And there I felt like shit was going nowhere. And if anything, it was going down. It was going deeper and darker into that fucking hole of depression. But now I feel above water. And so I feel very good about all that. And so it's interesting because I'm hearing him, and what I'm really hearing is like, bro, you got to fucking figure out what you want to do. You got to figure out your life, bro. That's what I'm hearing from you. If you're terrified of 30, you got to figure out what you want and start moving towards it so that by the time you're 30, you feel like you've accomplished something. That you've done some shit, you know? Cuz I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied with what I've done, but it's not nearly close to what I want to do, you know? And that's a good way to be. You should be happy with what you've done and want to do more. At least that's how I feel. I feel good about it. That's what makes me feel good, is having felt like I've done something and knowing I can and will and am doing more. But he said that, terrified. And then another friend was like, have you thought at all about how tomorrow's your last day of your 20s? Because it was like the day before my birthday. She was like, have you thought at all about how tomorrow's the last day of your 20s? And I was like, bro, I haven't thought about that at all, but I'm sure you thought a lot about it. I'm sure that whole fucking day you thought about it. That's a crazy thing to think. Bro, I've been 30 for 2 years now. I've been 30 since I was 23. Me and my friend used to joke around all the time about how when we're in our 30s, our life is going to be fucking so much better. I didn't like my 20s, man. They sucked. I'm going to be honest with you. They straight up fucking sucked, dude. You don't know who you are when you're in your 20s. I'm just figuring out exactly who I am now. This is what I think it is. When you're in your 20s, you're figuring out who you are. Okay? And the closer you get to your late 20s, the more you start to have an actual idea of who you are and what you think. And by the time you hit 30, you're like, okay, so this is the guy I am. I guess I'm going to be him now. I guess I'm going to try and perfect whatever this guy is. Because this seems as close. This seems enough of a thing to hone, you know? This seems like enough of a thing to make better. Before you're like you're fucking fumbly clay, you're mushy bullshit. You're clay that you can't fit into a fucking, you can't shape into anything. Every time you try and shape it, it just mushes through your fingers. That's your 20s. And then by the time you're 30, you're a pot. You're a well-made pot. You're a pretty well-made pot. There's some cracks that you had to clay over. But now you're ready to be put in a kiln, and you're ready to find out, like, all right, how good is this gonna look when it comes out? Again, I don't know if that analogy works, but yeah. Also, the thing is too, everyone thinks you're gonna turn 30 and it's gonna be like your life is over, and I think that's what we want. I think that's the real thing we want. Is we want to turn 30 and we're like, well, we're done, right? But you find out you turn 30 and it's the beginning of it. You turn 30 and you're like, fuck, I got more of this left to live than I don't. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. But I guess when you turn 40, you probably think the opposite. You're like, I'm halfway through my life if I'm lucky. I don't know, but maybe that's just a depressive person talking. Is that I'm like, you know, you hit 30 and you're like, oh, I got so much of my life left. God damn it. Maybe that's just coming from a person who wakes up a lot of the time and is like, how much more of this do I have to do? I wake up like that less. I used to wake up every day like that. But I definitely wake up like that less. But I don't know. I'm excited, man. 30 years old. This is the last year of my life. That's what I've been saying to everybody. I'm like, let's do it big, bro. It's the final year, dude. Everyone keeps going, because people will say shit like, yo, this is your year, bro. I can feel this is your year. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's the last one, bro. I'm checking out the end of this one. I'm going to do everything I want to do, and I'm going to end a perfect life. That would be sick to set up the perfect year for yourself and then kill yourself. That would be cool. That would be a cool, I don't know why, maybe cool is the wrong word. That would be satisfying. Well, maybe that's the wrong word. It would be a thing, you know? That could be, I don't know. I don't think you should kill yourself, but at the end of the day, it is your choice. That's a difficult thing to navigate, huh? Like, because when someone commits suicide, are you mad at them? I don't know. I'm not mad at them. Maybe when I was younger, I was mad at them. But now I'm like, I don't know. Life is rough, man. And if you want to check out, my philosophy now is like, wait till you're 60. You know? In your 20s, you're like, you know, it's probably going to get better, bro. I think you have time in your life to figure out it's going to get better. The 27 Club, I think they all made a mistake. I think that there was more time they could have had. But also the 27 Club isn't all just suicides. It's, you know, some people... Well, I guess it's still a suicide even if it's not a direct thing, you know? If you're not eating and if you're just drinking yourself to death, you know, that's suicide. It's just a slower version. It's interesting how you think of suicide as it's got to be an immediate thing, but people kill themselves slow all the fucking time. What's worse, dude? What's worse? Now I'm trying to think about it. What is worse? What would you rather have a friend do? Such a crazy question. Would you rather have a friend slowly kill themselves or do it quick? Is it slow? Because then at least you get to hang out with them. At least when they're sad, you get to talk to them a little bit, you know? When it's sudden, you know, you don't even get to know if like, hey, man, I did my best. Hey, man, I tried. I was with them a lot. I was enabling everything. I was drinking with them. The guy who drank himself to death, I drank with him all the time, bro. I tried to make him feel better. And then other people were like, nah, I think you just assisted in his suicide. Is it assisted suicide if you drink with somebody who drinks himself to death? Kind of is it? Isn't it? And then again, if you're okay with assisted suicide, is that good? Damn, are we all secretly doing assisted suicide for some people? I think we are, dude. I think there's a lot of people who are like, you know, long-term harming themselves because they hate themselves and they kind of want to die, and we kind of participate in a lot of it. Damn, if a person drinks themselves to death, if you had a drink with them, you might have assisted in their suicide a little bit. What does it break down to? How many drinks you had? I like how I'm talking about this like it's a scientific scenario that everyone knows. Meanwhile, it's just some bullshit I'm making up in the fucking moment. But how many? If you drank with him every night? But if you're drinking with somebody every night, but you're talking to them, if you're talking them off the ledge while drinking with them, are you assisting or not assisting? Is it more assistance if you're just with them? Just like, hey, man, that sucks. Let's have another drink. If you're buying them drinks, that's the assist. What is it? Is it in the buying of drinks for a person? Who am I asking? That's the real question. Who the fuck am I posing these questions to? Myself right now. So I guess I got to answer them. I think if you buy drinks for a man who's drinking himself to death, you're assisting in the suicide. Which, depending on how you feel about assisted suicide, it might be a good or a bad thing. I don't know how I feel about that. Assisted suicide. Again, I think it comes down to the age. I think suicide I feel okay about if you're 60. And that's not to say that people who are younger who do it, I'm like mad at them. I'm just like, damn, dude, they I wish they hung in there. I wish they hung in there. But I don't know, people's life gets fucking rough, man. Life gets shitty and rough. And I don't know, man. if there's nothing ahead, it's hard to stay put. If there's nothing you're looking forward to in your life, or there's no sign of upward momentum, and you're just stuck in this place, it's hard to stay there. It's hard to stay there. But anyway, there's this trailer for this dog movie. Anyway, there's this movie coming out about dogs. I know it's a hard pivot, but I am switching topics. Don't kill yourself, okay? Stay alive, bro. Stay alive. Unless you're Anthony Bourdain at 60, and I get it, bro. He kind of lived his life. He kind of finished it. Bro, you're Anthony Bourdain, you're 60 years old. You start moving slower. You're a guy who, like, your whole thing is you love going, exploring the world and eating food. Your doctor's like, you can't eat whatever you want, and you're not moving quite as swiftly as you can. Like, riding planes is going to get more crushing for you. I get it. Bobby Williams, honestly, I get it. They're like, yo, you're going to have dementia. Or was it Parkinson's? Whatever it was. They diagnosed him, and he was like, I don't know. That's what people said about him killing himself. If that's, I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was Robin Williams and my whole fucking thing is that energy and moving and giving the world joy, and your doctor tells you, hey, you're not going to be able to do any of that because your body's failing you. I get it. But again, they were old enough where they were at the cutoff age. They were at the age where I'm like, all right, dude. Someone calls me at 2 a.m. and it's important, I'm okay with it. But I'd rather it be at 9 o'clock, you know? Same thing, bro. Someone kills himself at 28, I'm okay with it. Like, I'll still, if it's a friend of mine, I still love that person, but it will make me angrier than if I lived a full life with you and you got to figure out if shit got better. Anyway, I'm moving on. There's a movie about dogs, bro. Bro, I saw so much good shit. I mean, that's understandable. I haven't done the podcast in a fucking month like a dumb cunt. Anyway, I saw Beau is Afraid. I saw Evil Dead Rise fucking twice. Go see both those movies. They're wildly different. If you want to see a 90-minute movie or a what's it called, 100-minute movie that's just dope as shit and violent as shit and a good horror movie, go see Evil Dead Rise. If you want to see an insane experience like none other, that might make you mad, it might make you laugh, it might make you just go, what the fuck is this shit? If you want to experience 3 hours of psychosis in a good way, I think, go see Beau is Afraid before it leaves theaters. Because that's the type of movie where, like, I don't know. So much of it for me was seeing it in a theater. It's like seeing it in a room that you can't escape and you're just there for 3 hours with a friend or alone. Fuck it. I went with a friend, but I might go again alone. I might commit 6 hours of my life to this movie. It's just a fucking... It's the type of movie you go into and you go, I'm not going to think about any of this shit. I'm just going to watch. I'm going to take this movie in. There's certain movies where you're going to be foolish to be like, what does it all mean? You know, sometimes people make movies and they don't even know what the fuck it quite means. Barry's been on TV right now and it's been great. I feel bad for people who don't like Barry. Not like I feel bad in the way of like, I really like it and I'm enjoying it. So when people are like, whatever, I'm like, that sucks that you can't enjoy it. But anyway, again, people were asking Bill Hader about shit about that show, and they're like, "Hey, did you mean to do this? Did you mean to do that?" And he goes, "I don't know. I wasn't even really thinking about it like that." And that's a part of watching something. There's a lot of shit in it that is for you, dude. I was watching a clip of Vince Gilligan talking about, someone was asking about Walt, spoilers for Breaking Bad, Walt leaving the book in the bathroom that Hank sees, that ultimately leads to him being caught and his demise and all that shit. And it was for a panel where the cast and creators were talking about the show, and he asked why did Walter leave the book in there? And Vince Gilligan was like, well, that's something even me and the writers argue about, like what was the reason for it. And I've also heard people argue about it online, and fans argue about it, and your reasons for it are just as good as our reasons for it. Like I might have a reason for it, but this is out in the world now, and it's yours as much as it is ours. And that's true, dude. And so when you see a movie like Beau is Afraid, you got to understand, like, no matter what Ari Aster meant with it, if you take something else from that movie, it's valid, bro. That movie is, when you make something, Breaking Bad's not even that ambiguous of a thing. It's pretty clear cut. But when you make a movie like Beau is Afraid, it's that ambiguous and that muddied and that, like, just like waiting around, like slop, like the Beau is Afraid is dancing and rolling around in the fucking mud. And when it's that murky and unclear, you can take whatever you want from it, man. And if he goes, no, that's not what I meant, you go, but that's what I got. And that's what it is for me in my brain. Anyway, there's a movie about dogs. There's this movie coming out. I think Will Ferrell's starring in it. And Will Forte is his owner. And Will Ferrell voices this dog. And Will Forte's a shitty owner who abandons the dog. And basically, it's like Homeward Bound. But if they said fuck. That's what the movie is. Every couple of years, they try and make this fucking movie. They did it with Happy Time Murders, where it was like, oh, it's Muppets, but they say fuck. Down to the point where the trailer is the same trailer. If you watch the Happy Times Murder trailer and the Dog is Afraid trailer, I don't know what it's called. I forget what it's called. Dog. Well, I'm gonna bite Will Forte's dick off. Dog movie. If you put those two together, like, there's a scene where they're walking down the street. And the Muppet, there's like prostitute Muppets who are like, hey, you looking for a good time tonight, honey? And then in the dog, I'm gonna bite your dick off Will Forte dog movie, there's a scene where he's like walking down the street and there's these Afghan dogs. And they're like, you ever been with an Afghan before? And it's the same. And then there's a beat in Happy Time Murders where they're fucking, and then there's also a beat where, like, they're humping gnomes. Like, it's the same fucking... For some reason, they always try and make a movie and go, like do this Hollywood movie where it's like, let's take a thing for kids and make it fucked up, and maybe it'll be good. And it often isn't. I don't know. This dog movie might be fine. But anyway, it was super wild and a weird fucking trailer, and it kind of sucked, but it kind of was a fine... it's just a movie that you know the pitch when you see it. Like, when you see the movie, you're like, if you don't know Homeward Bound, it's about these three animals and we can hear them speak and they're trying to go home. And I mean, this movie has the same concept, except he's going home to bite his owner's dick off. And you could tell that in the pitch meeting, it was like, hey, it's Homeward Bound, but instead of going home, they're going home to bite their owner's dick off. And you could tell they were like, all right, greenlight it. Who are we going to get to be in it? Jamie Foxx and Will Ferrell? Great. Greenlight it. Will Forte is the owner? Great. Greenlight it. But anyway, I wanted to bring it up because the trailer played. I saw this trailer like 3 or 4 times now. And the trailer played the first time when I was seeing Evil Dead with a friend. No, when I saw Beau is Afraid, that was the first time I saw that trailer. Which, weird fucking trailer to see before Beau is Afraid. But I'm watching it, and then behind me, right after that trailer... Behind me, a dude goes, he leans over to his girlfriend and goes, humanity is doomed, huh? Actually, no, he just leaned over and went, humanity is doomed, and then crunched his popcorn. And I don't really have much more to say about that. I just thought it was a beautiful moment, and I agreed with him. Also, it's funny to see that trailer and be like, humanity's doomed. You know, dogs talking and saying fuck. This guy was like, it's over. Bro, there's been COVID, there's been fucking wars, there's been a lot of shit. There's been chaos in the streets. There's been a lot of violent, horrible, awful shit in this world. But this dog movie, this is the point where I'm like, yeah, dude, we're fucked. And on that note, that's the podcast for this week. I love you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who's ever listened. Thank you for listening now. I can't wait to record it again. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense. Jake, you're a piece of shit.